So 3 reasons to make chocolate pudding on Valentine's Day. Number 1, easy. Number 2, perfect ending to a meal with your partner before you're getting ready for a little evening activity. Doesn't fill you up. Number 3, there's nothing wrong at all with sitting on your couch in front of the tube alone on Valentine's Day with a vat of chocolate pudding. First, you're going to mix together the dry ingredients. Here's 3 tablespoons of sugar. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to take 2 tablespoons of cocoa. 1, ooh, that's a heaper. Nice. 2. It's going to be super chocolatey. Cornstarch thickens it. You know how pudding's got that like jiggly thing? Like if you ever get Chinese food and then you put it in the fridge and then you go to reheat it the next day and you're like, oh my God, that's so weird. It's all gelatinous and jiggly. Cornstarch. So we've got, again, 3 tablespoons sugar, 2 cocoa, and 2 cornstarch. Boom. Then I'm just going to whisk these puppies together. Not a big deal. And turn on my Fuego. And then I'm going to add 1½ cups of milk. I'm going to add it slowly, whisk it in. Inevitably, some pieces of the powder mixture don't get sucked up in the milk. Like, check this out. See, all that gunk on the side? No bueno. No bueno. So I've got this cool tool. It's just like a little scrawny spatula. Who would market it that way? Here's the scrawny spatch. But you can use this to get into the sides, and then that'll take all the gunk off the sides. And then we just want to take this to a simmer. Now, look at this consistency. See how like wet and watery and milky this is? The cornstarch is going to give the milk that like thick consistency. Come back here when it simmers and you'll see it'll be really thick. While that's getting going, I'm going to go ahead and separate some eggs. I'm going to need 2 egg yolks for this. Egg yolks do 2 things for pudding. It makes it thicker, and it also gives great flavor. I forgot my pinch of salt. I'm going to put that in right now. Good 3-fingered pinch. I'm going to go ahead and whisk these eggs together. So, forget it. I don't need a whisk. I'm just going to use my scrawny spatch. All right, cool. Now we got it. All right, I want you to see this. See how it's like thick and kind of jiggly? It's not the texture of milk anymore. That's the cornstarch coming to a certain temperature. I believe it's about 180 degrees and thickening with the milk. Okay? That's the pudding consistency we're looking for. All right, perfect. Now I'm going to take some of this and stir it into the eggs. So we're tempering the eggs and slowly bringing them up to a higher temperature. And in we go. Let me get the scrawny spatch again. Get out every last bit. Cool. See that? That's pudding texture. That's what we want. Now I'm going to put in a generous 1/4 cup of white chocolate chips. I'm eyeballing it. And a generous 1/4 cup of the bitters, the bitter sweets. Hell yeah. A little bit of vanilla, 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to actually put in a squeeze of lemon juice. This is so heavy. I just want a little bit of acidity in here. I don't really want lemon flavor, but I want to perk up the flavors. All right, I'm going to take a little taste of this because that's how I roll. What I want to know is, why don't we ever serve pudding hot? Like, we got to wait for this to set for an hour? Not necessarily, especially if you're alone on the couch watching Grey's Anatomy or something like that. Eat it like this, it's fine. Now I'm going to divide it between these 2 cups. So it's servings for 2. If you like that funky skin on top of your pudding, because like that's how your mom made it, that's totally cool. You just throw it in the fridge now. But if you don't like the funky skin on top of your pudding, you just put a little bit of saran wrap on top. Put it straight on the pudding, and then let it sit in the fridge. Bye. Okay, now we're gonna make some whipped cream to put on top. And because it's Valentine's Day, we're gonna go the extra mile. We're gonna make a flavored whipped cream. First, I'm gonna take about a 1/4 cup of heavy cream. It's gonna double, at least, in volume. So I don't need a ton, maybe 1/3 cup. Okay, cool. And I've got some Baileys. I love the flavor of Baileys. So I'm gonna put in like a tablespoon of Baileys. A little bit goes a long way. And in desserts, since we're not really going to cook this out, you'll be surprised at how intense the boozy flavor comes through. So I don't want to add too much. So we're just going to whip it. I'm going to take it a little bit further. Flavor's good. Bailey's is so good. All right, I think this is perfect. The texture is great. And my pudding's been sitting for about an hour, so let's grab them. Happy Valentine's Day. All right, Mr. Cameraman, you want one too?